And they're going to play some music for us for a few minutes and give us a break here.
Okay.
Dell has a tribute to a former gentleman from the area here named Woodruff, and we're going to give him a chance to do his tribute to Ike, and then we'll move on.
They asked me if I knew Ike. Well, I did know Ike. In fact, he was one of my favorite friends. In life, you probably only make 4 or 5 close friends, and Ike was one of them. And so he and I spent years locating the old Free Immigrant Road. I have written a book about that. And afterwards, Ross Spencer, pastor at the Methodist Church, is going to sing a song in memory of him. And we do not want to forget that his son Rick is here, his wife Lois, and is that you, Lonnie?
Yes.
You are a husky guy. Well, you're gonna. He does something distributing cookies, but he's probably like me. He's eating too many of them. All right, here I go. Ike Woodruff and I were a twosome in the hunt. We became very close friends. I never met Ike that he didn't express his appreciation several times that we were the best of friends. I felt the same way. Ike spent most of his life working for the Southern Pacific Railroad. He ended up as an engineer. He mistakenly held the record for the fastest time with the train from Klamath Falls to Eugene, Oregon. He didn't mean it that way, but a foreman on the train that day came up to Ike and said, "Come on, Ike, move it right along, because we have some high officials on the train from San Francisco." Ike actually went over the wait a minute, I gotta get this back here a ways where I can read it.
Can we hold it away from you?
How about if I put my glasses on? Ike actually went over the sanctioned speed limit. After a couple days, his supervisor called him into the office and said, "Now, Ike, just what did you have in mind?" I don't know that he was officially punished, but he did tell me that he spent his last years on the railroad running the work train. Ike and I went on so many trips together that it's almost impossible to single them out. I would tell you incidents from various trips, and believe me, I will stop one of these days. And if I go on much longer, whoever can get their shoe off can throw it at me. Although I'm not as good at ducking as a former president was. Ike was an unusual person. Many of his close friends thought he was nuts for tromping around the hills looking for an old road. Ike was not someone to claim the title of good book learned, but he had a curiosity about things that drove him to know the answer. Ike and I did several trips off the Diamond Way Trail looking for the old road. At the crossing where the Free Immigrant Road forded the trail was a continuance of Rock Pile Ridge. We followed it out several times. Sure, this is the way it went. And in our ramblings and looking, I quite often said, "This is where they should have went, and they could have went." But the should-haves and the could-haves many times did not work out. A short while later, Keith Levitt, with his uncanny ability to see beyond the obvious, found that about 100 feet west of this Diamond Way Trail that we always went in on, the road took a sudden turn north. Let's see, I guess that way's north, which was down a steep slope into a small canyon. Keith won again. I became known as Laurel and Hardy. I was hardy, and as you see, you can understand why. Ike was always slim and trim. Quite often imitating Hardy, Ike would say, "Now what a fine mess you got me in." Ike was wise to the lay of the land And when he stood, and when we stood on the promontory of a canyon, and we were looking down into the abyss, he would say, "Now don't go down there." He knew that going down into the canyon meant we would have to climb back out. We by and large stuck to the high ridges, and that's the way the Native Americans did it. So someday, if you are, I'm saying the wrong thing to us old people, but if you happen to be around Diamond Peak in the hills and the valleys, and you hear a voice in the distance, and it gets louder and louder and louder, and pretty soon it says, "Dell, get your butt over here." It's probably Ike.
Song called "The Green, Green Grass of Home." As I step down from the train, there to meet me is my mama and papa. Down the road I look and there runs Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they've all come to meet me, all reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. The old house is still standing, though the paint is cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. Down the lane I'll walk with my sweet Mary, hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they've all come to meet me, always reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Then I awake and look around me at my friends that all surround me, and then I realize, yes, I was only dreaming. Yes, they'll all come to meet me in the shade of that old oak tree. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Yes, they've all come to meet me, arms reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
All right, we got one more.